Hark how the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, meek and the bold. Ding dong, that is the song. Big joyful ring, hark caroling, one seem to hear, birds of good cheer from everywhere.
Tonight is the 7th annual Light Up the Arts celebration. It is hosted by Easthampton City Arts, and it is a holiday celebration to thank all of our volunteers and our sponsors, and to celebrate the arts in Easthampton.
This is one of my favorite ECA Plus events because it brings us all together, all of us art lovers, and allows us to look at this year and reflect upon what we've done and our successes and our challenges, and lets us look towards the future and what we can do, which is very exciting. I hope you'll all take a moment sometime tonight to look around you and really just absorb who this community is, because it's a really great community, and I think most everybody who is here lives here because they want to be here, not because they ended up here, and they love it. So thank you. Yes. So we live in this microcosm of creative, generous, and active art lovers. Who's an art lover here? Anybody? Anybody? Great. Come on in. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. So I don't know if you guys know this, but this event also is an appreciation event for our volunteers who are actually working really hard all day and tonight. And I want to thank our coordinating committee, who is a volunteer-based committee that does a tremendous amount of work and gives their time. We have planners, we have librarians, we have videographers and performers and business people who all represent the ECA Plus coordinating committee. And I'd just like to list off who those people are. And if you could just sort of come to the front, maybe really come to the front. Jessica Allen, Kristin Angel, Pat Kuhn, Artelia Court, Bronwyn Hodgkinson, Carla Katz, Boris Kolbach, Linda Laborde, Doris Madsen, Drea Marks, Burns Maxey, Marsha Morrison, Allison Murchie, Denise Riggs. She is the most searched name on our website. Carol Absmith, Marlise Stoddard, Nancy Young. So I'd like to give a round of applause to these fantastic people who give their time and energy and doing such great things for these people. So this year we have a volunteer committee because we only can have so many people on our committee. So we have a volunteer group that's joined us, and they've helped tremendously as well, and I'd like to give a round of applause for them as well. I'd like to thank the Massachusetts Cultural Council. They helped make this possible, ECA Plus, as well as the City of Easthampton. There's so many people here that have given in so many ways. Casey Douglas is here, who was a generous donor for the Bear Fest, and great caterer tonight. Kevin Maloney's here, who has donated bears back to the city this year. So we have a great group in this crowd. I see Eileen Yeager in the back, who was the winner of the $10,000 Easthampton Savings Bank New Loan Center Award. So we have good things going on here. So if you're here as a supporter or an art lover, or that you're here as a volunteer, just thank you. Thank you for being here and being a part of this community.
And thanks for Burns.
And you can buy me this chair if you would like.
All right.
Okay, so last year we started a tradition publicly acknowledging several individuals in the community. Can you hear me? Yes, okay, good. One is an individual that's gone above and beyond, giving their time and efforts to help specifically ECA+. And the second is an individual who has given their time similarly and positively affecting the arts community in the Pioneer Valley as a whole. And this is really difficult because there's so many great people here. In 2011, we began the planning for this little event called Bear Fest, you might have heard about. And we had a huge turnout come to a meeting, and 30 plus people stayed on throughout the entire Bear Fest as volunteers. It was huge, and it was such an immense effort on all of those volunteers' lives and their families' lives too. But there was two people that really stood apart because of their attention and diligence to detail and being available pretty much 24/7, and even waking up on a daily basis and walking the whole bear tour. We had 92 bear sculptures, if you didn't know. We have actually 3 here tonight that you can bet on. And the other individual would send me photographs on a daily basis, documenting the bears and documenting people seeing the bears, and if they saw something that didn't looked awry, they would let me know immediately, and they would take care of it. And not only that, but one was a bear artist as well. So this is for the most outstanding ECA Plus Volunteer Award, and this goes to Kathy and Gary LaCroix. Gary redid this bear, and it had a sort of a faulty design on it, and he actually stripped it down. He's redone, I think, 3 bears now, and he brought it over, and then he took it back to the holiday stroll, and he brought it back, so it doesn't stop, really. Okay, so our second individual volunteer award goes for the Pioneer Valley Outstanding Award, and this year is to an individual who is amazingly dear to all of our hearts in the arts community. He really understands that the arts, values the arts as an economic engine, and envision how well that engine could work in conjunction with Easthampton's growing art cluster. He never hesitates to lend a hand, whether it's waking up at 4 a.m. to install bears, or I remember when I first started this job about a year and a half ago, I was in the old town hall in the front here in the gallery, and there was a broken glass on the door, and he walked in and was taping it up. And that's not really exactly what you expect the mayor to be doing. So I'd like to thank the mayor, Michael Tausnick, for as being the ECA Plus Community Volunteer Award.
Sorry, Gary got away with not making a speech.
I'm gonna take a moment. Thank you. This is quite the surprise. I don't really deserve to be honored like this, but thank you. It's really the volunteers here that we gave all our accolades to that are making all this work. It's kind of easy for me to see the value of cultural activities and the arts, and it is a small business activity in Easthampton. It's, you're all you're all another business. I recognize you as another business, and I think the problem sometimes with artists and what they bring to the table is that we don't recognize you as business people. Because you're not traditional business people, and you don't necessarily have a storefront, and you don't necessarily sell things that everybody wants to buy, although I don't understand why everybody's not buying tonight. It's great stuff here. But it's been great. I'm starting to reflect a little bit as I come to the last half of my last term, and this is really one of the big successes in Easthampton, is the ability to take what we have and look at it as an asset. The older mill buildings in many communities, people look at these buildings and say, oh, we've got to tear them down, we've got to get rid of them, they're a blight on the community. Here, we look at it a little differently, and here's 150 years of history that we can continue for another 100 years if we just take a little pride and put a little effort in. And we've been successful in getting people who want to invest in the community to come here. I didn't want to bring it up tonight, but we're facing in the valley here, we're facing some difficult decisions coming up with what the economy is going to turn into, given the opportunities that might exist in Hoyoke or Springfield for gambling. But we need to be worried about protecting this kind of activity in every community up and down the valley. And so from that perspective, I thank you for recognizing that this is really something that we all have to worry about, not just here. But for tonight, it's a great party. I want to encourage you to buy everything you see, and there shouldn't be any small works left in what we used to call room 2 by the end of the night. So thank you very much, and have a wonderful evening.
One last thing before I turn it over to Kristin Angel, our co-chair of ECA Plus. I want to take a moment to recognize this building, the Old Town Hall, and City Space, who's been managing it. I don't know if you know about them, but you'll learn a bit more in the next couple of months, I think. And there's Ed Check back there. If you want to know more, talk to him. And I also want to thank Chris Dooley and Flywheel for being so generous with their space. Since I've been in this building, since I started this position, it's been such a great community to enter. And we've used this space for performances and talks and everything else. So if you see a donation jar to the Flywheel, please give to it, because it's a fantastic organization. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Kristin Angel, the other co-chair of ECA Plus with Denise Riggs. Thank you. In September of 2012, we culminated the Bear Fest with a gala up on top of the mountain and our auction, at which we raised well over $40,000 to donate to artists, arts organizations, and the art departments in Easthampton. As you've probably heard me say before, or at least one of these guys here, arts education is essential for every child. It has a tremendous positive impact on the developmental growth of every child. It's ECA Plus's intention that these funds be used exclusively for arts education, and we look forward to hearing about all of the wonderful creative projects this money enables students to experience. How many chairs that could have bought you. So I'd like to let you know the breakdown of how we divided up the money by population throughout the schools in Easthampton. The center school will be receiving $860. Okay, come on up. Center school. The Pepin School will be receiving $855. The Maple Street School will be receiving $964. Yeah. Do we have someone here from the Maple Street School?
You have the superintendent.
You're good for everybody. Okay, great. White Brook Middle School will be receiving $2,080. Easthampton High School will receive $1,989. This year we've branched out and included Southampton and Westhampton in our Bear Fest as they are part of Greater Easthampton. The Westhampton will be receiving $630. Yes! Norris will receive $2,423. And then Riverside Industries will be receiving $6,000. I know I saw some Riverside folks out here tonight, but if you're feeling too shy to come up, I guess we'll let you off the hook. No, well, you gotta come up. Come on up. So thank you all for participating in Bear Fest. We greatly appreciate your support, and we're happy to give support back.
On behalf of the Easthampton Public Schools, I just want to express our sincere appreciation. Arts education is so very important to us, and to have these additional funds for art projects in our schools in this climate of financial uncertainty just means so much to us. So I just can't thank you enough for this gift. Thank you so much.
Many moons ago, a woman approached me and said, I have this idea about maybe starting an art class for the summer and, maybe just having 6 people in it. And that woman is standing right here, Denise Herzog. And from that, this incredible program has grown. We have received some money from the Department of Developmental Services, but not enough money to fund this incredible program. So this was much needed and very much, we're just very grateful. But I do want Denise to talk a little bit about the program because she does it so eloquently, because it is changing people's lives. So Denise, would you please, and thank you for all you do.
I'll try to talk, but I'm really kind of moved right now. So, the people that we work with at Riverside are really some of the most loving, positive, joyful people I have ever known in my life. And I thank God every day that I get to get up and be with them. So I know that we were short this year for our program. I was a little worried about what we were going to do. And this comes as a great surprise because I really had no idea that you would be so generous to us. So thank you all very much.
A quick thank you. I'm here representing the Westhampton Elementary School, and I thank you for branching out to Westhampton. Again, we do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, meek and the bold. Ding dong, that is the song with joyful ring.